Today, we are going to a place that needs no introduction. The sight of broken buildings alone is enough to touch your heart. After roaming around the city and Hiroshima Castle, I reached a place where no explanation is needed. The damaged structure speaks for itself. Yes, I reached the site of the atomic bombing in Hiroshima. After getting down from the tram, it was just a short walk. Soon, the atomic bomb dome appeared right in front of me. At 8:15 a.m. on 6th August 1945, during the final days of World War II, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima. It was the first time nuclear weapons were used in war. The bomb exploded about 580 meters above the city, creating a massive blast that destroyed most of Hiroshima and killed thousands instantly. In the middle of this destruction, the remains of one building survived and later became a strong symbol of peace, the atomic bomb dome. Today, this building stands as a landmark of one of the most cruel acts of war. The area is preserved as a memorial site. I saw many artists sitting near the Motoyasu River, quietly sketching the dome. Nearby, there is a memorial where people offer flowers in memory of those who lost their lives. Around the site, information boards explain the bombing, its effects, and the history of the building. Before the bombing, this building was not a memorial at all. It was built in 1915 by Czech architect Jan Letzel as the Hiroshima Prefectural Commercial Exhibition Hall. With its brick walls and copper dome, it looked very modern for that time. Later, it became the Products Exhibition Hall and then the Industrial Promotion Hall. It was used for exhibitions and government work. The building stood only about 160 meters from the explosion point, and the blast hit it almost directly from above. In 1996, the atomic bomb dome was added to the UNESCO World Heritage list as the Hiroshima Peace Memorial. UNESCO described it as a powerful reminder of the destruction caused by humans and a symbol of hope for peace. Around it lies the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, a large green area filled with monuments, museums, and memorials for the victims. Walking along the riverside, you can see the Memorial Tower for mobilized students. It honors young students who were forced to work during the last phase of the war and lost their lives, many during the bombing. After crossing the bridge, you reach the Children's Peace Monument. Out of around 8,400 students mobilized that day, nearly 6,300 were killed. This monument is dedicated to children who died in the bombing and carries a strong message of peace. It is one of the most emotional places in the park. From there, you can see the flame of peace. It is an eternal flame lit in 1964 and has been burning ever since. It stands against nuclear weapons and prays for world peace. The flame will continue until all nuclear weapons are removed from the earth. The base of the flame was designed by famous architect Kenzo Tange. It looks like two hands joined together, facing the sky, showing prayer and hope. Nearby is another important monument, the Hiroshima Victims' Memorial Cenotaph. It is dedicated to all who died due to the bombing. It was one of the first memorials built in the park. Its simple arch shape looks like a shelter meant to protect and comfort the souls of the departed. From there, you can see the long, two-street building of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum. I went inside to understand the story more deeply. The museum starts with photos of Hiroshima before the bombing. It shows a lively city with trams, rivers, and busy streets. The next section shows 6th August 1945 at 8:15 a.m. time. One entire wall displays a wide view of the destroyed city, with collapsed buildings, burnt trees, and ashes everywhere. In between, you can see the atomic bomb dome still standing. One section has a round floor model of the city with rivers, like a map. A projector shows how the bombing happened, how the explosion spread, and how the city was destroyed. The next part shows photos of smoke clouds. and melted objects like iron bridges, bricks, bicycles, and lockers. The next section was truly heartbreaking. Even though many people were inside, there was complete silence. Everyone was quietly looking at the photos, many with tears in their eyes. The pain in those images cannot be explained in words. There were pictures of people with burned bodies and skin damaged by radiation. When the bomb exploded about 600 meters above the city, it released extreme heat and force. A huge cloud rose, carrying dust, ash, and radioactive particles. Fires across the city created hot air currents. When these cooled in the sky, they mixed with moisture and fell back as thick, dark rain. This was called black rain. It began around 20 to 60 minutes after the blast. After the bombing, this black rain fell over Hiroshima and nearby areas. It played a major role in spreading radiation and caused serious health problems for many people. Inside the museum, many real items from that time are displayed, like clothes, a broken Buddha statue, and daily-use objects. They are kept inside glass cases and cannot be touched because of radiation. People who were exposed to black rain or drank contaminated water later suffered from nausea, fever, hair loss, bleeding, cancer, and eye problems. In 1952, 7 years after the bombing, excavations were done in Sakacho near Hiroshima. A total of 252 human remains were found at 5 burial sites. At one place, 156 bodies were buried together. Some displays show before and after pictures of the city. There are models of the atomic bomb dome before and after the blast. Even glass bottles are shown in melted and original forms to explain the impact. With a heavy heart and deep sadness, I came out of the museum. After that, I visited the Hiroshima National Peace Memorial Hall, an underground space where people offer prayers for the victims. Then I went to the epicenter, the exact spot where the bomb exploded, located on a street near the dome. A plaque there gives detailed information. Today, radiation levels in Hiroshima are similar to normal levels in cities around the world. The city is completely safe to live in. Drinking water meets strict safety standards, and there is no danger from leftover radiation. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Hiroshima Peace Park. Do like, subscribe, and share if you would love to see more travel stories from Japan. Until next time, travel safe and stay curious.